was another Dwayne Johnson joint. It's the 2021 fantasy adventure film Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Jack Whitehall, which for me is like the weirdest movie because it's based on a Disney World ride rather than a ride based on a movie.
Yeah, this does ring a bell now.
Like normally you go the other way. You make the movie and then you're like, oh, that was popular. Let's make a ride at Disney. No, this one they had the
Jumanji vibes. I didn't watch it,
very,
but just looking at the trailer.
Yep, very similar. So
like, why wasn't Kevin Hart in it? These people don't sleep, do they? Like The Rock.
The Rock doesn't. The Rock is a madman. He's like up at 3 or 4 in the morning to train, and then he works all day and then goes to bed at like 11. I'm like, what are you doing?
He must just be filming like 4 movies at a time. He's in everything.
Yeah, he's constantly doing something, and then
he's so sought after as well. Like,
he's got his alcohol, he's got his energy drinks, he's got his shoes and
his workout gear too, eh?
From the looks of it, he's about to return to WWE. Like,
yeah, really.
Dude's all over the shop.
Whatever. He must be worth a bomb.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like Jungle Cruise, they kind of rushed this one to Disney Plus. It did come out in cinemas for a little bit, but obviously the pandemic got in the way. So for Disney Plus Day a couple of weeks ago, they're like, yep, sweet, let's push it out and make it free on the platform. So that's how I watched it. And it's all about this captain of the riverboat, played by Dwayne Johnson, who leads Emily Blunt, who's a scientist, and her brother through the Amazon to try and find this mythical tree of life, and features all the sort of dangers of an Amazon jungle with wild animals, the lost headhunter tribes, and just the danger of being lost in the Amazon on one of the random rivers that are there. But then it also injects like this weird supernatural element where, like you said, kind of felt like Jumanji, Pirates of the Caribbean type thing. And like another fun, silly one with some of the worst dad joke pun moments. I was like, oh.
I'm not surprised.
Like that first half hour is basically just The Rock just dropping terrible puns the whole time. And yeah, again, this one's like 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. Definitely needed to be cut back a bit. Like
that's really so much. That's too much Rock. So you've watched what, 4 hours of Rock?
4 hours of The Rock.
That's too much Rock for anyone.
And then when I was reading it, this is apparently one of the most expensive movies ever made, with a $200 million budget.
What do you mean? Was that was a half of that just Rock's wage though?
Probably between The Rock, Emily Blunt, and Jack Whitehall, there was probably a good chunk of change. And then there's
who's Jack Whitehall? I know the name.
In it.
What's he in? I know the
British comedian.
I don't know. Definitely know the name. We have visitors here.
Mate. It's funny. But like they made their money back, which is crazy. They got just in that limited run. In the limited run with the box office, and they were also on Disney Premier Access. They made $217 million.
Do they? So when movies get released now, like obviously historically, it's from box office ticket sales and whatnot.
Yep.
These days with streaming movies, is it they rely on the Netflix buying the rights to it, or how does it work? Like the streaming numbers, can you make money off streaming numbers?
So with this one specifically, because it did it was in the cinema, so they got box office revenue. And then when it was initially put on Disney Plus at the same time, it was the Premier Access, where I think it was like $30 to rent or purchase. Yeah. So they would have got money from that. And then because Disney owns Disney Plus, they probably don't make any extra money out of it. But like with Red Notice, they would have got a lump sum payment from Netflix, and then Netflix just rely on, let's put out this big movie. Who cares what it cost us? Let's hope that brings in X amount of new subscribers or gets people to renew their subscription and stay on.
Yeah, I was going to say, hard to think there's that many people out there who don't have Netflix. Or then again, though, how many, you can have a Netflix account and add like 3 or 4 other accounts to it. So there's essentially only one person with an account in every 4 people, so to speak. But yeah, like you said, there'd be people cancelling and resubscribing all the time. You think, like, oh, there's nothing good. Been on Netflix for 3 months, I'll cancel it, and stuff starts getting released again, like popular things like Tiger King and whatnot. Then people are like, oh yeah, I'll subscribe again.
Yeah, I think that's what they rely on. Just like, and then they have those people like me that just have it the entire time and just don't.
Yeah,
it's a set and forget thing. Like I get Netflix and then I just don't even think about it ever again.
I can't imagine why you wouldn't want it. Same as Spotify.
They're kind of one of those things where you need it there all the time now. Like at least if it's there and I want to watch something, I can. Whereas I'd hate to be like, oh, I don't have Netflix this month. I got to wait to get it again. Like, just set and forget, and then they just suck in that money every month and then put it into the Rock's pocket.
The Rock's pockets. Give some to the rest of us, mate. Imagine what he'd earn if he went back to wrestling. Like, they would just throw the book at him, I reckon. Empty check.
I guarantee Vince.
Oh, the money they would make off that, though, because what WWE only to watch it, you got to have a subscription.
Or it's on Foxtel.
Oh, is it? Oh.
But like to watch the pay-per-views, you have to have their subscription.
Yeah.
So and like with AEW coming up and really pushing them in terms of pay-per-view numbers and ratings on TV.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Vince is throwing boatloads of cash at The Rock to get him to come back and give them a nice little bump leading into WrestleMania season this year.
Yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't happen. He's just so popular still, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. And like there's a pay-per-view on at the moment, Survivor Series, and from what I'm hearing, the whole show has been sponsored by Red Notice. They've even got like the eggs and stuff that they're trying to find in the movie on the pay-per-view. They're constantly hyping up like, oh, maybe The Rock coming back, The Rock, without ever actually having him pop up. So probably by the time we get off here, he'll have debuted back on there. And yeah, The Rock versus Roman Reigns, who's like his nephew or cousin or something. So
yeah,
that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it'll break the internet regardless.
Like last week, I was talking to Buddy about AEW and their most recent pay-per-view, Full Gear, and the like jump in buys that they had. I think it was up like 70 or 80% on last year. So like, and it's now their most purchased pay-per-view of all time. So
yeah,
they're on the up, and it's forcing Vince to make changes and bring back people like this, to people like The Rock to come back and fight them off.
It's the same with absolutely everything in life. People just love nostalgia. It's such a strange feeling, no matter what it is. Like, I don't know. Everything has just, everyone just wants nostalgia and that feeling of like something they felt when they were growing up, or no matter what it is.
Yeah, I think like that's where AEW succeeded. Like, it's AEW is like fresh new talent.
Yeah,
but it feels very much like
you're gonna hate me for just saying that bloke. What's his name? Oh, CM Punk.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. So like it's a lot of fresh new talent, but it feels like the old Attitude Era WCW versus WWF days. So like it has that nostalgia feel, but with fresh new guys and new stories and things like that.
Yeah, nostalgia is a unique feeling in the human body.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. That's why we're so many of us.